Arrangement my Mamunina Joe Peace 104.3. Okay, 101.7 neat 100.9. Your ship house, there were Beka Junction Accra. Hello, 101.5 FM. So Ewukumase Edum. Mebrason say enyumre no nsia kase bonso so yade ebesomo enyumre. Na kaseboyi enam radio stations be wo ha eduosia so Ghana ne amanone. Ene yade nsem ni nyina to peacefmonline.com. Enyumre nsema yade bram no de di mu akotine bi eni.
Ghana mampani ya be de che Professor Jenna no Pokwajiman. Akwa ministries mienu wankran ha.
And I hear you, especially graphic and so on, about social media, and I think it raises information for all of us.
Oswafo ya wo hwe nuane na afisukua wonsam so kire sampa Ghana ban defeat Ghana dwumedie ba wo se ekoye papapa wo mantem dunsia wo mai musa so na Akan defense minister wo bo Ghana mampani abaso.
The president has decided to add something to the numbers, but it's still not enough. The numbers are still woefully inadequate as far as we are concerned.
One year share a bank untebuo so na kase wadi a wadi to dance for my Ghana GDP pejapa 42,502 Ghana cedis our 2025 emu.
Economy no nim by 5.8% in the fourth quarter of 2025.
Dom kumaya wa my Ghana mra shebe jofia so o mate asem bia nya danadan Ghana adisuafo ya wo mo nsi echi ba so a wo mu sua de University of Birmingham no wo UK a besi na ye ntua musika mo nti ama mo aso ya hyepa wo mo ka kira ban so wontua na ya aka no hokra dodo. Enyumrei ensempi na ka we hu na yesi nkonya yede esomo yemfa seda emanyuman.
Osons chemist abusuan na de Osons Gale capsules abadwa so boa emo ahoden MTN se Ghana sei babia uhia network de djuma bia eye MTN na obesomo sompa High Sense Ghana sei memfa nto anim se Ghana sei se wo kwa akoto home appliance de a edin ba akopɛ na se wo man ba utrim se din no ene High Sense Ghana ma memfa nko Dolphin roofing system ye penchense de abodan so ama bibia ye kama ye Dolphin eho na esese ye de yani ekire Dolphin enchense papa eno no ohene yire spices obeye aduane e de ate aduane ne dankasa ene ewiase ayewo yi enye duro bia ne enom Lawson Herbal Center ene de Lawson Law Care Mixture aba mini aba esiesie ama wadi ho adanse se ampa eduro esiesie ama wa ye obesima Divine Hope Herbal Center say otwa herbal powder no odi badwa so no obia otie se de esibo ho dawuro na wanom na saa pepepe anopa ne enwumre odi so de na nom no eboa ema ne eha wo no bibia aye kama so e de ama se nwumakoi ada roma ana afei Pepsodent Cavity Fighter se osimbe ye white wanum beda ho na watimi aka asumsem bo abra wonhwenhwen nchenchen ne ade dia na eye Pepsodent Cavity Fighter se nwumakoi nwotwe ada roma ena nwumre ye de kaseboyi ebremo ye ne amoto ye nkan ye me nana ya kesse ena
ohine wa kase bo ahina Africa se bo na munchemu eni Ghana mampani abedi eche Professor Jenna no Pokwajiman na abeto dwase ne due wakwa akwasa ministries mienu ne edikan eye asoye a wo hwe aban de ubon nsem so saso na asoye a wo hwe nuane ne kua ho nsem so na abotaye nti akwasa omo ne se wo kwa akwhye omo mpanifo na afi so wani wo mo edi nkoma ahwe kwan enuma eguso a ekoso na wo mate wo mo hyehyɛ ahodo ase wodi ka kopie mu ewa communication ministry na wodu honom no ena Ghana mampani abedi eche Professor Jenna no Pokwajiman wakasa ene wa chechem se hu behia pa ese state media ne betimi epeje mu kama na akotroment ya abefo de ade amom se ne be ya woni wotipenfo betimi edi apede sanse nei wo hwe wo my Ghana nsentwadwuma na ye na eguso a epeja pa o mampani abedi eche ato so ya wo chesa akotroment ya kan wasem no e wo se kwan bia so etimi bo mu se ne be ya wode emudie be ye adwuma ensem weyi ene wode atudwa.
And I hear you, especially graphic and so on, about social media. And I think it raises information for all of us. Sometimes we get too comfortable where we are, and then we lose sight of the changes around us. We should be very alert to them and find ways. It's not about fighting people, but it's about collaborating. And it's about trying to put yourself above the curve. How do I do that? So if today people are reading on their tablets or they are reading on their screens, how else can you arrange yourself to be part of this? Can we also show an alternative so the users of the information have choices? Okay. And Phyllis, you talked about information being distorted. How about people who want to go to information that is not distorted? We all know that information is never innocent. Insofar as it is based on selection of material, definitely it implies that some of the material has been left out. So what has been left out and how do you come in? So I think that you also have a strength you can explore.
Ania yekotie ye Ghana man pani abedieche Professor Jena no Pokwajiman na no sei na wosoafo ya wo hwa aban de ubon nsam so yewra Felix Kwachofo so wosoe no wose wo nsam kapa wo hawa wo mo ba no beto ye nie na nyame ayedom ema sisi aye kase wo yan hihye pase sa wo hawo nyina wo betimi aboa esiesie ne kama.
Your Excellency, we inherited quite a challenging situation. Ghana population, these days, they tell a good story, but the circumstances they met were far from ideal. Well, despite some incremental progress that we had achieved over the period, there were still substantial problems. One of them was liquidity. So Nana Kwesi Boateng was confronted with a situation where in February, at the end of the month, when he had only been in office for a few weeks, he had to pay staff. And there was only 400,000 Ghana cedis in the accounts. So he had to quickly engage the banks to get an overdraft to fulfill that obligation. But now he boasts a significant 25 million Ghana cedis in the same accounts after a year of work. They are primarily responsible for gazetting all government documents.
Ania yekotie ye wosoafo ya wo hwa aban de ubon nsam so yewra Felix Kwachofo so na omampani abedieche Professor Jena no Pokwajiman ofiri honom no na wo bo anan kopie mu wasoye a wo hwe nuane ne kua nsam so na wodu ho no woto ne boase pa cheche mbutai ntia oba wo se wedie nyese bia wakwakwa vice president wote no office na omanfo bo na mane se na ekoso dabi wo pese ono ankasa be pie osa ne be ya wo behunu kwan ya oguso a wodi wodwuma na afeso wa kira mo se ampa hihye wei na na bangu so de ye adwuma sane be ya wo ho betimi atomo na wamanensi one man watches a minister rekopoko ye adwuma de pa na memu pan so hihye mapa wa ye nti amanne kwaye aye krabehye.
I want to commend you. I want you to know that we appreciate the work you do. Ministry of Agric, we are very, very proud of the work you do. We want you to know that we have your back. We are here to support you if necessary, and we are here to join your team. In fact, that is why we have come to visit. The ultimate aim is to advance the interests of our country. We have no excuse, and we live in the part of the world called the tropics. There's hardly anything that does not grow here. We have no excuse not to grow our food, not to rear our birds, not to satisfy our needs. So I want to commend you for everything that you are doing to ensure that you can be truly independent. You are not independent when you live in a place where you can grow your food and you are importing food. That should be a thing of the past. So I'm very happy about that particular kind of emphasis, because we all know, if nothing at all, you can just feed yourself and your children. That also is a good indicator of economic performance.
Ania yekotie Ghana man pani abedieche Professor Jena no Pokwajiman dodo na afre no batampa na no si ye no na osoafo ya wo hwe nuane ne kua wonsam so yewra Eric Opoku wakasa no wasi we the vice president why ya de dodo ye dase bra wo ba ne de ne kwan so anu no ye sha obo se ye beye dwumaden ankasa sisi aye kasa se Ghana ban ne warehouses ahodo gina guso a aye adwuma edu pempenso wo se edru na wo ka sei eto aso kire omanfo.
Unfortunately, when we assumed office, buffer stock was on its knees. They were found in the abyss of debts and a whole lot of issues. In fact, it was completely dead. So His Excellency tasked us to ensure that we revamp buffer stock and put them on the proper track to discharge that important mandate. Today, I'm happy to report that buffer stock is back on track. And for the first time, they have made 2025 buffer stock recorded profit of 91 million Ghana cedis. We have even decentralized the activities of buffer stock, and now we have offices in all the regions in Ghana. We have procured vehicles to be distributed to the regional offices this week. Drivers have been trained, and within the week, the vehicles will go to the various regions.
Emrashe bedwani ya wagina ho ya wosom adehia ewe sunafo South Abato Empesia so waye wosofo ya wohwe nuane no kua wonsam yewura Eric Opoku sanse wanyina yense ntro ni peni Patricia Sefafisha na tro ya wode som Ghana adehia
na onmonyamfo Eric Opoku assigned it to omampani abedi akire anim se Ghana ban hyehyɛ ɔde ba sɛ yenu aduane a yebetimi adi Ghana ase na bro so kra yetimi de bia kwadwa ma so akɔtɔn enya ska feed Ghana program no aboa pa sisei amanfo ede ɔmo ahyem sɛ ɔmo yɛ ne tentententententem ɔgidi ye pa sɛ ɛbɛboa ama aduane abu ɛwɔ Ghana ase onmunyamfo Opoku sɛ ɛbra aban we ɛbaayɛ no na aduane ɛho ayɛ na ɛwɔ Ghana ha sanse na aduane ni hɔ na ɛkɔm aba ne sa nanso esansa feed Ghana project no a aban ɛde baayɛ nti amasise Ghana baabi abefa bi aduane abu eni kasem ba ko emu kra ne se oka kire nyumakuo bi ti se Ghana Prison Service afei omeya srafo adwuma the military Ghana Armed Forces na Ghana National Fire Service and National Service Secretariat and Ghana Police Service say wo mu nyina mfo wo ho enye feed Ghana dwumadie num na mmoa na aduane emu osisa nyumakuo nyina agye atomposifo pɛ na so omo de enye omo adwuma ne kua adwuma posifo de ombo ban omo nye kua Tomo no de omo anfom ho anhim ye yi omo no fi nche omo maka ni nyina obi eye bia fe wo se ensore mako aduonu mienu 52 churches nso so e de omo ensa baba be hye apamase e wo feed Ghana program no emu ani nyina kire se san hihye ekoyie pa.
Under the Feed Ghana program, we are implementing a lot of intervention. The first one has to do with the campaign for mass participation in agriculture. We campaign that every Ghanaian must have a backyard garden. The response has been massive. We also advocated for institutions like the military, the police, the fire service, national service to all be part of agriculture so that we can produce in sufficient quantities for our people, except the police service. Then also, we also campaign for churches to also be part of this program. And I must say that we have registered about 52 churches who are actively participating in the Feed Ghana program. We provide them logistics and they are expanding their farming activities.
Bibia so ekoyie pa afei osan etoa so ese aban wei ebaye se oba besom Ghana fo sompa no obomodena se baabi ti se mentifi do sei se umwani eku ho pa se obeye kuadwuma kese a ebema Ghana enye sika nkasa na se yebetro mamu na afi beso ne atam America's K or pepe millions $3 billion say yade call America anasa brochira maso akwa credit and dia baga na asia babedi wa bra yebetumi ayebi wa hande ye nye ne sa bio enti aban edna ni cement fi don so a sa feed Ghana dwumadie ye na kase akase ho.
We assumed office at a time when Ghana was facing a critical challenge of food shortage. That was when we were battling the drought in the northern enclave, and Ghana had to rely on food import, resulting in huge food import bill of over $3 billion United States dollars. So the tax that was assigned to us was to ensure that we produce food in abundance and stop food importation in Ghana. Again, because of the shortages, food prices were ballooning. We recall in January 2023, food inflation was around 61%.
Odumunyamfo Eric Opoku ono ene soafo ahwekwa adwuma so ene odi sansemo etu dwabra ene mampani abedi akire Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman ekokosra no
ma yentu akasebo yi asom kani waswafo ya na wohwe bambo mu nsem wo mayi mu se wate asem bi yewura Dominic Nitiwu asem a wate no wose na ni agye ho senti Ghana mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mamakura wo bona baso waye ade dodo na anu ada na beto odwa se nipa wo mu ye bebunu ya wo pese wo som Ghana form security service ni mu sei 20,000 per mampani tie no wose da bi we die hwakranti yempege mum enko 40,000 na wo de sansem we gina to dwabra wo ne bambo mpanifo hia na afeso abambo mpanifo hia ewo abankasiem na no wo ba amane ya wo kire saade no mpo aye ken sani omanfo te se ye pejamum efi 20,000 ko 40,000 e bi fi se bi afi we ya enye sa na tie ye bechem eye nkuma ye bechem 4 years na no no pani wode atodwa wo kire se numbers no kra no ewo mso wo bo mampani aba so de na nso eso a ke betimi abon be se entasa wo se ekoba ne se wo mo hya ase na nko haw bi a wo mo femu wo mo hwetimi siesie ya ka enye ne so man Ghana edu ye sisembre yi
The president has decided to add something to the numbers, but it's still not enough. The numbers are still woefully inadequate as far as we are concerned, because if you have opened up to about 500,000, I'm picking from what they said, about 500,000, and you are recruiting 10,000 at the Ministry of Interior, it's still woefully inadequate. We were very measured in how forms were sold. They took 3 decisions that brought them to where we are today. One is to extend the upper age limit from 25, which was the highest you could, to 35. And so once you do that, you are essentially opening up more people who obviously are of age anyway to apply.
Wamanensi one man wo catch Ghana bands wo besra no bra no wo process no e ka bi wo ho no be ne forms na afiso medicals sa aka ni se nke be ya Ghana ban one face and say ye pese per ye na emu die ba dwumedi ahodo wo di no emu.
Government can do more by taking out all other associated things. That with one, the government should make sure that they just don't recruit the people, but then they put the financial aspect as well. The money that goes with it, they should make sure it's done. That's the first thing we are demanding now. Because if you say you are doubling it, then you must make sure that the resources you've given to the Minister for the Interior, you also double that resource for the particular process of recruiting, because you buy them uniform, accommodation is there, food you have to give them, and all other things, weapons and all that, the capacity to train, where would they train, all this is included. The second thing is that you must make sure that you also give them their pay and allowances as they are there. So all this must be done. And then thirdly, they should remove, or they should bring down the cost of medicals from 1,600 to 500 or less.
And yeah, you quote here, Kane was for Yan Washer Bamboo Munsem or May, you read Dignity, and I see you know. And Pennyfa would also Casa, ya watch your wajane Eddie Afahu. Nanipa walk Casa, ranking member. You were my gun, I'm not shabby if you have Koya, wash defense one sense was some shabby. Ya, would you know what the Madisham? War as in South Abato and Pesiaso. Reverend John in team for your 10 was 3 and 15 as was here. Ye quodi, send yana, one month when ya bra walk on was some no. Nank when him say, Jina. Yesie papa bi nanka ebusia mampeni wo besie na aka se me pagya ni padom no mu dia na wonya hwe wo haw nanka so manfo guso a yedi ho nkomo na ye ka ho asem na nya de asebe mampeni timi si gina ya na ebuam wo de sansem wo gina akoto dwa ene anopai e wo nit fm Ghana munti adwumedie so wo se sa gina yesie mampeni si se antiase wo me yakuma bi afeso ba ko a hye ne pa ne se sa aptitude test I edit say afa test ye omko tworo so wo tworo wi a wo se tue sika 1,600 Ghana cedis ya ye be medicals no business say sika no say ministry na account mo na eko
on Penny solutions what they buy and it doesn't address the major problem over 400,000 now woman jame out for no fault of theirs, not because they don't qualify because internet it was never mentioned and it was never addressed. I just say we say problem na see it is a one double slot to no slot now also a double no. So assuming say 5,000, you want double now for 10,000. Krana say afi one babe for 10,000. Minister now also can say 105,000. And as Abri, one more qualified aptitude test. One babe medical. One more babe could be about the book 1,600 cities.
Now, Reverend sounds so to us, which I said, Saturday, ya na wakan wasem say, sa process was see moon na honumu, was see no cry and yakra. Share baby to say me crum samra boy say. Now, honomo, and ye bianca say, cry internet, munyan saying, and now would took 15 hours to samra boy, now will be a quack computer home, and the laptop now for was so, was also a webcam, and who him, and to test a hood or wouldn't mean ya continue pano, Ugusa will answer question and a coban say internet take qua. Now I say automatically, why were you? From into what ya watch us bebre now one my internet no sabe engine now sunti and I sabe you wo mo efremu
internet on is so it is always a chrono so now so call internet cafe now click here for about 5 minutes internet no a call off unti they disqualify one there is a scam yes system sir that is a major concern. I'm ranked here over 506,000 we will raise here a move 400,000 there we knock off because of the internet AI friend saying networking some AI aptitude test nearby. That is the main thing, the method of recruitment and only their major IAUD are one more.
Enti ebusia eni ekotie wono Reverend John in Team Fodjo. Now, where your ranking member, the Mabejokoya or Shabon some were my gun and Russia Bedufim, was Sansu and Russia Bedenia with Jenna Wadamasham, war as in South Abato and Persias, and some Unina, William Gentu Emmanuel Akoli.
Edom kuma wagana emrashe bedwam aka kire aban se onya di oye bia na se bosia kra awomo ba bia sika hye bia wompe na Ghana disuafo a aban ama omunsi achi ba scholarship se wonko UK brochimam konko sua de sika sese aban de ma wo mo na boa ma de sua ko nkan a wonfa ma wo no aban nyere ne ho no wompe sika ne ba bia sika hye bia emfa nkokoma mo se be ya wo mo so betimi anya asomdwe e de ahia ade hebra of friends and jofo enhyiamu na onmunyamfo Hajia Fatia Abdulaziz ya wo ye Savalugum na hye bedwani Edom kuma no ebania wakasa ma omo efa onipa asitram ntutu pa wono ena ode say dibia ne hye ne nsa ogina dom kuma na nemu kasa ayese addition for wonom ewo University of Birmingham ye kasa se 2024-2025 academic year wo mu tuition fee ye ntuai sika yese utu ansa na ya makwankra ma wakwa kusua de no ye ntuai obisa scholarship secretariat or the faha no de apem ha no de ababebo ha wonu musra ban se enne ne ya samanti enka onya de oyebia no mpeska no ngongotu ya mangoda no.
These engagements, they were repeatedly assured that the matter would be resolved. Yet, months have passed by and those assurances have not translated into action. We further urge the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration to immediately engage the leadership of the University of Birmingham through the appropriate diplomatic channels to secure temporary administrative relief for the affected students while the financial issues are being resolved. At the same time, this incident exposes deeper administrative weaknesses within the management of Ghana's scholarship programs. It is imperative that the comprehensive review be taken into the operations of Ghana's scholarship secretariat to determine whether structural, financial, or managerial failures have contributed to the current situation.
Na Hajia Fatia Abdul Aziz amananso wasavelugum na shebedwani oto aso se ho behia se aban bema sa adisuafo ya asem na ye na asem hia pa esan se oba wa kwantuo mu usua de na sa aban se o manisika na wonfa sa sika no emma no a akoda no esan se wo ye hoho wo bi ma so ntikura no wo hu sa abroche posifo no bakra no odwane anhwa ne ye ba beche no ana bibi etresa uti obi ma so na sa de ka enya asem papa njaban hwe no ntia sa aka no.
Settings become irregular, often as a result of unpaid fees. Institutions are obligated to report the matter to the United Kingdom Home Office, which then determines the immigration consequences. The students have informed us that their visas expired on 30th January 2026. There are efforts to avoid overstaying and breaching UK immigration law. Some of them applied for graduate visas under the post-study work arrangements. However, these applications were declined because their tuition obligations remain unsettled by their financial sponsors. Teaching also points a painful picture of the hardship these students are currently enduring. Many have exhausted their personal savings while waiting for the state to fulfill its obligations.
Ni okasa ye waya savelugum na shebedwani eba obi okasa madom kuma no ewo nipa asetram ntoto ye pa wono ene ode sa adwumedi na hye ne nsa ene bra oni sentwofo twetwe nkomo ewo mna shebedwam na yenuanom Emmanuel Akoli ena William Gentu ewo ho ena omso di we sei ebre yen
na yampem sway Kani oswafo ya no wohwe nsase ne fom egudie wonsem so wo mayim yewra Samuel Abdullahi Jinapo na ekasei wo ka kire Ghana mampene excellency John Dramani mama so obesre no esi ade nkebe ya wonton samfre na soafo na meeting entimi nkoso no na ye bisa se de asemuntia ne dia wo ka nyina ne sesisi ano ye te Ghana ha de na nso ne yekoso amanfo amaso no ya hwe ebetimi akaye America Israel fo ni Iran tokọ ede bia da behwe no na efia ye bu hu nkontante anya bia fa ngo bekosoro ana esi ade asem na Trump wode eto dwam na wopani che se ho abehia esan se wan hwe ya ntokro bi betimi atwene ti na ebeko atia Ghana fo ankasa wo hye na no be den papa wo sisisi ano to ani hwe wiase nyina wo bia wo yema mpani bia se America Iran eni Israel fo ntokwa dia hwe betimi aha adwenti wo mo ahyase ya wo mu si nkonya se enhyehye we ne yenhwe yenye ne sei yemfa we nto ase na mu anti wo kyena bibi twini ti pa nkoba no so ade no shock no akwatia wo manfo ati wo man ni mum wase wo mampani se wonkyere sampa wo ye pani se ne be ya Ghana ye ho enkokyere ye daakye.
Countries across the world are putting in place measures to cushion their citizens. Our government should also step forward, especially so when in opposition they even had prescriptions. They said we can use a stabilization fund, we can use a sinking fund, we can use a sovereignty fund, we can remove taxes from fuel, and that we can take out about 8 out of the so many taxes on the fuel accumulation of pricing, which will bring about relief. What the government should do is to step forward and bring about relief and cushion Ghanaian people, as President Kufuor did, they are doing today across the world. Well, the hypocrisy of their politics and what they did for me is one thing to be commented upon, but in my view is tangential. The most important thing is that they should show leadership as President Kufuor did.
Enti wa manensi one man was say NDC aba wanim shekura wanhwe mampani ananu ada wokoye His Excellency Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo bra COVID-19 yade ne trinity Russia Ukraine dey say ejuma wo boy ye to ne bo ase wo hyehye nneoma yi ankasa nti wo my Ghana for ya nhye dante yaw pii.
True leadership is tested not in comfort times, not in better times, not in favorable times, but in tough times and in times of crisis. History has taught us over the years that leaders rise up to the occasion in times of crisis, and citizens expect a lot more from their leaders in times of crisis as we have it today. Within a space of just 2 weeks, we've had a spike, the price of petrol in our country. It's a spike. And clearly, I'm not an economist, but the economists will tell you that not too long from now, we're going to have the spiral effect. You're going to have transport fares go up. You're going to have inflation go up. You're going to have the cost of living crisis in our country exacerbated. It's going to get worse. It's going to happen. And this is where leadership is called upon.
Wa manensi one man na wo to NDC abide for so won tia sisi an wi ase akwa krom kuma bi nti asem bi si a oman foforo bi so a ebetimi aka obi aka bia nu nti e na bra beto edwa se Russia and Ukraine tokwa ni sei na MPP for ka so ebetimi akwatia Ghana fo eguso akutia ye enso na kwan bia so na NDC fo se yenyi ntum e na yenyi ntum na mo ankasa na oman no mu kyekere wo se ene omo ne eneyi.
At the time of COVID-19 and the Ukraine-Russia war, said categorically at the highest level that it doesn't affect us. They said even Ukraine is 17,000 days away, this, that, and so on and so forth. And therefore, it ought not affect our country. Let us call out that hypocrisy, that political hypocrisy. Let's condemn it. And let's say that it was clearly a ploy to win the votes of the Ghanaian people. Well, that's up to them. But the truth is that what is happening today vindicates the Akufo-Addo administration. When the Akufo-Addo administration said COVID-19 and the Ukraine-Russia war affected our national economy and brought about many of the problems we had. It is not the only reason, it cannot be the only reason, but it impacted our national economy.
Wasu akaipa sabre na NDC fonya platform say ya ena bombo na binto ye ewefuom ntie ni kwan se Ghana ye ho ekire kane so afo ya na wo hwe nsase ne fom egudie wonsam so Yewra Samuel Abdullahi Jina posansem wegina William Gentu Emmanuel Akole ye jina so na ye twa ho sima ye basisia.
Peace FM.
When you're going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury acrylic paint. No be any painting be paint.
The luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion. When you're going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury acrylic paint. No be any painting be paint.
The luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion.
Peace FM.
Tune it in, turn it up,
Peace FM,
and rip off the knobs.
Adesima mamo akwaba afi yankonsam foforo so yi. Oso afa ono ene hwe enkitahudie ensem so monyamfo Sam Nete George. E de atudwa se abanda da no hye dwumadie bi ase a eno no waye na adwen se enkurase tu baabi a eho saa telephone ebi enko telco si omuntimi nsom ye wokọ a unya network na ade aye adwuma no wode nhihye bi ba se be obetimi ama omo nso so anya kwan habo enkomo e wo tetefo so ama no ayeye eno otu the rural telephony projects na saa nhihye no aban we aye na dwen se obetoa so akwa kosi ase se opese oti ase yie pa on se kane no obedu ba bi yes I say there omunya network so opese wo ye call yes ofuru ko people iso yes okoko gina dua iso enti omba no me de mast tie bia baba besi ho no me de bibia ese solar panel bia baba bebo ho na aboa mantem ho nyina wo mo atimi anya network no ebi e de aye adwuma eno no se aban we enyina ni mfiri ho na oba ba betoa so aye ama won ma wo nkrase ba bia kane nanka obi anya na adwen krase wo de network be ko no omso benya bie.
It's important that any journalists in Subesha, I church adrinya at that same registration nature. I say I say year registration, and we've highlighted the reason I say yeah some way because and then and a mobile fraud and a mobile fraud. Yen to mean at times we bet number no would na the national security for year juma but no nipa na ukofano or ye akokra we did 90 years ewe krasi we won say enya sa akokra na ye mobile money fraud no obi de ni Ghana card and a year registration, and that's why we can't use the old system because old system no woman year biometric verification and a Ghana card there obi out to me use it would there but wait there I one case
enya ne no ana ye penu enie nanso eno we kra beba so akire na ya ba bedi eno ho nkomo osoafo no san edit udwa say ena ye ka say aban abon ho modena na nkasa nkronkra na nkronkuma no a sa enkita odi ahoma ebi nya nko ho no aban ye se nko do mu nyina ebegusu bia ma matimi abon nkoma ye bibia no eye empimienu ene edunsia ne aka ahanan eduosia pe na ye wie sa adwumadie no yo na yanko ensafofro no ene se ene osoafo a ohwe nkita odi exam so osan ene Ghana fo kasai ofiri na hye badwam no ne omanfo ekasai na nkomo ne omanfo ekaye no nkomo ni nyina ne se same registration no ya dada na so hu akwa se yesan eye ne bio na osoafo ne se won ma hunu niam ba ko mienu miensa bi eno nti na ma hu akwa se osan eye same registration no ebio na otonebo ase chechire mu kire omanfo de enti a ye ba be same registration ne de won ma hunu a enti wo se enya no foforo.
It's important that any journalists in Subesha, I church adrinya at that same registration nature. I say I say year registration, and we've highlighted the reason I say yeah some way because and then and a mobile fraud and a mobile fraud. Yen to mean at times we bet number no would na the national security for year juma but no nipa na ukofano or ye akokra we did 90 years ewe krasi we won say enya sa akokra na ye mobile money fraud no obi de ni Ghana card and a year registration, and that's why we can't use the old system because old system no woman year biometric verification and a Ghana card there obi out to me use it would there but wait there I one case about phony and I the match near a war NIA database no now she said time now we have NIA database no one kasana wo horses yana and sana year registration now and no be na sa me free lending near the no e so be twakakra.
So far or share enkita odi ensam so monyamfo Sam Nete George ena ode sansemo tu dwane ne ode asem tu dwane enso ye hobi pa enuaba erama boache ena ja okokosi despite media ya namu ya ono so ekoye na okokoti bi erama era akwaba
e janana
let it say
nyame adom me hoye na unse
nyankopon adom na enemu ni me sehia no o kirekire de ntia ehu akwako hia se osan ye sim card registration for front o kirekire mu sen
enti na ya koye do no say omo be ye new sim card registration na abandada ni ye bi na emomu no me niama bi kakra tuto sin e wone na abandada ni ye no enti no we ni de omo ye na this time around almost previously no no na biometric nin count but this time around no omo ye biometric aye authenticity say na be yom be kire say okay nipa we say asimesi oye no onu nie ne picture nie ne Ghana card no no na e use sa particular Ghana card na de nti e be twa mfoni wokɔ registration be twa phone na ye hu say okay asemasi na ye no previously no ono ana because you say Ghana card na bi mutimi ye fake cra edefra and mostly omo ye mobile fraud no obi wa ha oh me nua bema
but cra twen azansa na obekɔ momo fraud no biometric no ochechire mu say no ye den.
Okay, so biometric no
because the entire maybe say me de me kai pa ne say ba ko no ayeye no oh yeah o de Ghana card beko ya be ma do nsa 10 ni nyina si ayi so ye wi ane aka cho say peja card ne say fa bobo oh o be card ne say na ye twa wanimu a card no sa na ye no ye be twa wanim picture card no kuta o say na ye twa wanim nyina afra ya take wonsa o fingerprint ni nyina dada ene ya sam wo kuta card ne say nti card no kuta obu say na ye twa wanim nyina de afra enti
but un say yes ebi mu on so a say bi okoye SIM card registration na ebia nana obayima na ebia o de card not necessarily omo ka say obampo de ye but ebia obusuani bi ana wadan for se mini Ghana card no abeje wo de no e de akoye SIM card registration no afa obeye be wie no na asemba ho a ye wa be hwe no be ka say unsu ni mo hwe ono na obeje o card no e de ye no nti se na be ya sa ne ma we ni nya no e to betwa no ye say wunie o card nie say even post say your card say o double and 2 or more numbers ye be ma OTP number to original number ye be bisa say dey na your original na primary number nti say bia 0244 say na your primary number ye the OTP be ba so say e ampa say wo na wo san register another SIM card e wo wa wudin mu a o ka say ye wo then the process goes on say nya wo then ye twaso.
Okay, nti say we no registration for free ba be new features na e be ka ho no ye den.
Say almost we ne ye biometric ne I almost authenticate say ampampa e ye wo Ghana card e na wo de ye registration na say na be ya ye be yi sa omo use so amount for Ghana cards e de ye register say no mo de di bone no
me de na ma adwen ye me say system bi a obeye bia no san say nipa bonefo wo wi asenti no wo ye ne say de nipa be na adwen say obefa system no ho na ode aye bibi obeka ya ansa na sa SIM card registration e beba no ukose say obedu o SIM card ya register gu odada no an say uto ya na ode ko enom so mu yi sa de na free o enti obia ni Ghana ha or register as that time no a one for Ghana card na register e untimi nye.
But you say being so use fake Ghana card.
How can because say a system I dey register we have means of checking there card na nipa no dey ba no correct and as correct because sa Ghana card na nyina data no wo Ghana first NIA for hodada aban so na registration no but this time ye dey adwuma no ma telcos no enti ye ntimi an synchronize sa data na telcos no giwe ho Ghana card na ye dey ba no ye ntimi an authenticate and free NIA for ho ehunu and a 2 say o si ye mfa Ghana card na me register me dey say dey ntia me kai ni ye pa ne say me call ye no in fact ye bibia wie ye na me ye me nsa 10 ni nyina wie ye no na me pagya card ne say a otwa ye no me the second card man say onye and I make catch and say oh say we dey what take we say dada enti you should details na say na bia nye ne sa card fufuro bia no obesa de mafa process no mu sa bium and omo ye ne sa ne wie enti say me Ghana card akọ ma take me fingerprint edu ni nyina watwa me picture ewie wo say obi di akọ register ana obi so age obi de akọ ye bibi enti no me na me ye me de na de me akọ ye ne de wo be ye no fufuro yi de my dada ne de wo be ye nsunsu ye bia nantemu no me sign konko sa process ye mbiom because obi antimi antrack obi sa na wo pese o kire
so nana o can say nyomu ye no omu ye me fan say bia there's this word I say we ye bibi e dey ahwe how it will work
I say almost so ahwe
almost realize it say I've forgotten the percentage but about 80% or something na e went na komo ka senka they want to synchronize but they realize that sometimes so by no na be so there will be some disparities and discrepancies be we to ensure say we will have bibi a year genuine na okay no. We would want to do everything again. But then I won't say there were times Grandpa to me say non-Ghanaians cried to me ye Ghana card nibi. But this time around, almost in your more say they will have that for non-Ghanaians as well. And to say be obi fi Nigeria and eba oba ye bet me ama odo non-Ghanaian Ghana card no ebeye odi enu ye wi a for 90 days. After 90 days no automatically no card no be block here, and SIM card no be block here. You can't use it after the 90 days. And I say they are diplomats, so they are working with the Foreign Affairs Ministry. Say they will give out them the list of diplomats that Ghana has, and then issue them with use passports no for the issuance of the SIM card registration. It's basically they are doing it to ensure say bibia beye pepepe no obi to me use obi card enfan call register enfan defrauding conform. No, I can say there's a way say crowd on it say bia we use udi obi card ye na ebi anipa no realize it and I say yehu a yet me block sim no block phone now you cannot use the phone crown post cry again. And that will be costly to mobile money fraud for no. To ensure say when you na
omo mamo nkofo omo ne amanfo bedi nkomo afa saade we hu ana omo musa bibia mo bisa mo ne because Ghana card ye wo hui unim se ye wo Ghana ni obi o ye Ghanaian national ukọ na ye na ukọ ya ye bisa se wo ye Ghana ni ana wo ye hoho wo ye Ghana ni a ye wo de na ma se Ghanaian national wo ye hoho nso so a ye card na ye ko was card ye be ya ma Ghana card kro no abate indicate your card no so say wonye Ghana ni enti no e wo hodada e ade e wonya afi na ifo ba be e wo hodada
there be say ye massa nkrofo no that opportunity to say wo de no ba and no ye say for 90 days yes me sure say bia previously o register card now you can use it but we na for 90 days
say auto the side Ghana card not to SIM card
exactly who they register for 90 days after 90 days no card no be blocked until you can't use it after 90
so
days.
So the emphasis say Nigeria ni awabetena Ghana ha not we in business or in adwuma nyina wa or in adwuma nyina wa ha waje Ghana card ni bi because only Ghana card I want me bank account o timi nyahwe okuta Ghana card expire o ti ase expire onye so ye hoho ime oye obi a o twam ba bi na waye 90 days eno nko but ya ontimi nye Ghana card as Ghana national because onye Ghana ni enti obey oye Ghana card obey a hoho de ni bi to no de kokoye ne Ghana card 90 days na card na ya block.
Yes, I'm sure say that's another man can buy. I'm thinking say there will be an opportunity for you to re-register. Now you let them know say this is the situation. To say the resident in Ghana, because I know say but there's a period, the amount of residency period of 90 days.
90 days.
Exactly.
Permit. 90
yes,
days.
To say if that permit no expires, then you would have to go back and then because they are working with the immigration service as well, so they will ensure say sanyama win.
Why are there pa uti nkomo ye pa why are there uncheche mu no de eto asomu pa nemu de free omo ankasa hoba ne nsembisa na wo hu no do so chen anu yie na omo de amaye ne nti wa obesan ba hu mo de no ahwe omo amaye kwa se no omo di nkomo na hwe me de no kure wo wi ase nyina ye ba akopɛ ye ya ade bia betimi abɔ Ghana fo ho ban a yare papa ba se ye ya de papa na se hu se kwan bia ba da ho wo ba bia ye nhwe kwan a ye befa so ha ebetua saa tukuru no sense e beka se ye nsan koche ni nyina sinti se fufuru a ye ba be ye sa be ni nyina wie ne ye sa kokko hu se no so fom so aba ho ye be san ba sha ase fufuru because SIM card ya emienu dada o.
Yes.
So okay.
Yes. So that question came up. Amomuka said they are going to ensure that this one who ensure says loopholes ne sanya mani no the best silly send a beya en kasi e be san for year another because this is not
document fufuro bi na mo be gidi registration enye Ghana card na dia enka it's fair. Yes echo di lies o.
Say yes. There be so bit my so you can sit in the comfort of your home and then do it.
You want to be trying picture no?
You want to be trying picture no? So you sit in the comfort of your home. And then
because the Rama send me the telcos no cry ya obi gina o hwe say the me ye no kre no. Metimi de me card am obi. me card ama e fe ni say Caleb ama na timi akwa register momo ana wakwa register sim e wo mimi di mu ba sim ne ye Caleb ne kuta de no mpo ye so obi nyina hon register no na de wo be kan kire me say wa atena ofie na twa uwia no atwa picture na de akọ nya no say me ye ma de na me de asende o me de sim no ma me na me mfa ma Caleb
man na say we say the same so per NIA for mo data no mo see about 90% of Ghanaians have the Ghana card so because first the crampo na you obi ana na work Ghana card no they say I think 14 years or 15 years cra enya Ghana card ni say they can use it for the registration no they say they say about 90% there omo Ghana card that they can use for the registration.
I see. What? Aha. Hold the one kai hold papa because you obi ana craft smart
no I think
na no so omo be kan route so omo kan say e say ano NCA na e ba be di enu anim ahwa yes registration no enti NCA no dabi omo say NCA no
this one NIA so kan in fact the meeting na executive secretary for NIA was there
bobo dey omo bra why one show mama me do ba hasa computer asem say wo bi ya betiase ba money yo apaba why ade money yo abusa for ye nua ba erama boache na nada roma okosa enkomodie yase a amane efiri mu ba ye nyina ene bode ababewe ye anwumrei ama ye hunu nia ekro na se dia na me ka kire no no yensi a ebepese ebenya NCA fo na nkasa no mo mecheche nsem mu ne ente ase ne ehunu ade cropot ye wo ho sanse nsem bi ho ahwehwe aso kakra
niame amananti akono oso enye save
yes
ba niame metina fia ye no eno ye okay
because obi atimi anya obi card e de akwa ye registration
enti mitie no se we nya se registration yes I and foforo o se ye bibia from show to ase enti mu besi dan fa mensa capture mensa
omo ani
editor yanko yenkura se ne nkohwe woni a
enti ehun behia se gaga hwe ehun behia se hwe me de minim se system bia wo ye bia especially esan ye IT no obi be na ajun so obebiti na nka ye den na me fan se bia me sendi sika ma gaga next kana fuma kwa ko di Patricia ho na ma frɛ bia me teko na ka chen se oh me sendi sika ma asma si akwa ko di o se o we ye wi o yi sika no we himfa enso yetimi chesa system no de ye system wa IT obi a building de obi be na adwun so obedidi ho na system bia so we ya o try periodically to bo say e be ko nanim ni nyina no bo say wo hwe no finchim ni nyina bo say bia tokro bia ba beda ba bi tokro na obehunu na wo tuatua na tu tokro bia obesa kase nyina ye nsan ko sala enko ye no foforo
editor me say wa send scam obi na ye wrong line no a obe telcos ne say bi omum block no me ka me kire amunye da
next moment yes ye scandal next moment na mo peso Ghana for mo me hwe sa de we ye say mobile money fraud ni nyina e telco ba ko pe
na bo sa abra no
mo de mo nka me mo obi adi
editor me say
mo so amutie mu nim
wonim say me frɛ o de nya hwe maka de maka me frɛ wo mu e ka kire wo mu so obi enya me details e ma ska bia ba my account mu bia no omo withdraw enti omo nhwe na omo suspend me account omo anye me frɛ mo Saturday omo anye edu Sunday anopa na bibisi no gaga sa frɛ omo me frɛ mo na omo se o ye block you nti onipa na register me number no e wo a different phone so an sika bi obi be se ni bia ko gu nipa na account mo na me ka che sa phone so ene me pa mo che omo block editor can you imagine say edu weekday mo which is a Wednesday me da ho no ma na bibisi no obi send me scam me mfa ba ko na ye ka ho asem no so me mfa ma ne mfa ba ko no so
enu kra uti e nse nipa no bebisa wansa
se we misamia nipa na didi me san fresh afo ya irade nso ma no me san fresh afo ya se bi so mo a oh madam pacho e fra wo se me bo me din da bia na se account no e da so nipa ne ho and so ma san so air block so I was like any me catch am say any say me nye save so obi send me sika me nye save say me ko so use mo debe app no me nye save we are sorry na me say we are sorry sika omo yifi my account mo muni amount no me san fra ba akofo na omo de omo unse sisi ano omo ye ne say we use this telco app omo use anu omu use a different one to withdraw the money. And the other say ube be so say bia omu blocking mawa de momo. Because I was so afraid the different telco catch on say this is the situation number way no mudi here and omu system they saw everything no omu numbers are who ye scanning in every account mo in batches 2,300 nipani way to we no sa borrow ye sama say mintua and I was like intina mo te wonom you saw this in the system my friend we bisamo me too ka ko baby amu emma
okay me say Ghana ni bia OTA Peace FM news na nwumre ebedi ho adanse say telco se Ghana ha say nyina eye baako pe na da bia ye wies ka wo so
why the question is identity
ama man for complain ya kire mo say inside da wo ho nkofo wo inside ho a omo ne amanfo wies ka no enso omo nte da enti no mo ba ka kire me say enti say age said da bia ye hu problem a ne ya san base ensa me ya bre Ghana fo abre yabre
bibie biom
yabre ne sa ni mane
ma editor masha no so telcos no one say ye we na ye withdraw wa na ofre we ye o se frɛ we me se me frɛ mu tu ni nyina agina so me frɛ we ne ma frɛ we me pa cho mo mwana me nsan because you can oh yeah no 2 minutes later na me frɛ mu mienu nyina oh ye be ya ma but Scandia forget who and truly me nsan keska no mu wie so mwantimi an suspend ni pan account when unim say numbers me gusu ye adwuma asat now me the number them as see ya me posi kram o fresh see ya ko pepepe and they are still doing it to people who are hard mom from no oh madam say I don't know how they do it but am guso am no kasa na no mo borrow account mu and everything
and you be a utie Peace FM news mpacho say news a utie na nwumre nyina wa anya bibia mfiri mu kura no a sa de we ma ore mfida say anytime obi be frɛ o say ma send sika ba online so me send pajo tie ni yo anytime obi be frɛ wa oni ubedi nkomo bia efa omomo ho no ugidi mpo se nipa no we no kwafo kora no a emmo hwi wo omomo no so tie o se ma frɛ o de me card na mpo e na ma frɛ o e bia ma frɛ o me say professor Andiofori Brickline aha mpa cha o say ya mimpo a unim me sa oba ne me mimpo unim me a me mo hwe wo momo no so obo chasa obo ayi ba ko pe wo phone so on be twiska bi da wo yi no so
no kre
obo bibi ba ko pe
omo frɛ ya ubenya message from your phone on your WhatsApp say enter that code e wo phone no so and it's coming straight from WhatsApp it say one ya smart ya
first no na omo person mu wia wa first no person mu wia wa de omo ye ne say omo be send SMS message enti wo be message no emfa wo normal momo routine
that be etimi kwa a different network
na afamu nte wo hu as mobile money received but emfa wo normal momo track no say momo de wo ya message na ba akopɛ change network aso sa esi o matimi aya timi bowura wo normal momo message no emu enti wo benya normal momo message te say de obi aye momo pepepepe de ama no omo ya na omo de settle say oh code bi aba we no so bo omo send ko mbesa send code aka ho enti oye na oka che say code bi aba we no so bo na wo bo hu musuo bo say wom obe change upin no enti usika bi aba online no so a on na betwe usika bi aba online no so bia on na befa na saa de we minim say NCFo mu behu munim nso so say telcos at least Ghana has a esi ano ye o miensa anambo
ba kunu mpo de say
ye wo Airtel
ene wo
MTN ene wo hwan Telecel miensa saa miensa ba ko pe baako
and they know them
baako pe other two na kan nyina mente da so obi aka chem say ya wie sika wo mo line no so e de na saa other two no ya baako no a wono na kan de ontimi nye bia da bia wonkwa line so na ewi ankofo. I think the minister should be interested in this.
Ontimi more o customers ho ban
gaga yankomra na yakoba abusanfo say Donald Trump akonta ko kanto kwa manafro no I te say de tetewo no say wakoka anabi a wonu obi ku no obi oh jai gaga jai mi nyai gaga jai gaga mi nyai jai was mi nyai na nipa na wonno ko na wadwen so obetinya abono no wa henhama hyew baako afa de wu se bro na ko mu a e ka no unya ya na obi aka je so gaga jai ene se usu hu
obi a mu
aso mfiu
na aka won ko na so na utie den
aha na wo ko He say no be na to Donald Trump. Wo hye ntokwa si no bia ka chen say wofa ntokwa wo kuin enti ase ni mu jai na mempre Iran fo mu hu Iran fo ni pabonefo ti say Iran de wuntimi ntrase ma akodi agodi o nsem en wo ye de obeya say no ka say Iran fo no enti say de waduru ayi na akobra ka si akura na mango ate ato ne nkwanta so na wo fa bi adie oni say Iran fo ne habayere ye nyo no sa keke ena entokwa no wakwa ka ntokwa no mfimfiri sese aize sineri no mekwa nko me banso a ema ena waka mfimfiri Trump nyaaya na nko bia ka kire ne se adwobere o muntwa so ena se obi anso se o mfi Trump abusafo be bia Trump tie sesi ade edne pante wo de mo me nkomra na me momo Trump ene Iran enkomo
Peace FM.
Ojamno no. Nansay dia wo jiwani. Asa confidence level so asa kosoro pa. E wo se manijie. Efese ma fa Mr. Kill. Aye Berman kasa. Wa fa meme dro Mr. Kill. Aye Berman mu a. Enya afi na wo be ye hu debate. Tell him. Hey, na other one fan World Cup sir. Na so amwa, me see Mr. Kill ya ma fenti. Ma ye Berman mu a. Case closed. Me so be person me ye Berman kasa. Enti me Mr. Kill ni bi wo hiato. Mr. Kill our pharmacies, herbal, and over-the-counter medicine shops. Dudua, Kokunlun Ghana Limited, East Legon, a Champo Junction. For 0244-139-176 and now 0204-139-176. And member what you feel doing what you do and the firm Mr. Kill. FDA Aji Ejedi Nkratoyatum.
When you're going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury Alagris paint. No be any paint, be paint.
The luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion. When you're going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury Alagris paint. No be any paint, be paint.
The luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion.
Imagine making or collecting all payments without leaving your chair. Sounds like magic, right? Nah, it's Stanbic Pay.
As the Chief Financial Director of SBA Holdings Limited, payments from clients flow like magic through Stanbic Pay.
From school fees to utilities, government and statutory payment to investment, insurance payment, Hajj payment, and more. Just log on to Stanbic Pay and you're set for life. No Stanbic account, no queues, no stress, no last-minute panic.
Cherish your time and live happier in safety and convenience.
Just visit stanbicbank.com.gh or call 030-340-9212 or 055-676-0683 to get started.
Peace FM.
Tune it in, turn it up,
Peace FM,
and rip off the knob.
Omadeshe yamamo akwaba na sesei die emse ye hye ntokwa na se wo America no na ye ka se sa Strait of Hormuz no a ye ka ho asem no enya asem a eda fam ena afi Iran fo no mo no mo hwe omo sa no Iran enye bayira abrewadwo na amanfo fi se o eya agro se America kakraka we ya woti we na Iran no ono wo hwan Iran betime de no ho atoto America fo se na America sane na kodie ba akokura de egu Iran fo so Iran be fa he pato muntie nkomo amene mo boyiye pa on se hye nkomo na se me ka kire mo se ba bia Iran fo no ewo Gulf fo no ayati se de Iran fa Iran nyina ti se Ashanti region fa Iran nyina ti se Ashanti region to on se wo kokumase a wo tra nkoko kakra bi a wodu Ashanti region se wo kofa asinfo osusu isusu a eno so bridge no so hwa wodu Ashanti region ena se bia ehini mpo bio na akwa kofa wo kofa from places isusu a drobonso nyina ya Ashanti region enti wo ko ena se wo nam ebia wo free siremu na eba nso so a eno so wo tra tachiman ba wanim kakra tuobodom finfini hono ano wodu Ashanti region no wo ko wo komediem ahafo nso so a eno so fiman kranso a tepa tepa na akwasi ase nyina ya Ashanti region enti Ashanti region watre tubako ahafo a obefa Ashanti region obeko Western North a obefa Ashanti region because Ashanti region ene se hwibo hye wo ba biani tubako akwa koduru ho ena se obeko mantifi do so a obefa Ashanti region enti se ufiri ahafo ufiri western north ufiri bono ana bono east ana say mentifi amantam ni nyina mu a wontimi nkɔ wabra wonfa Ashanti region Strait of Hormuz no de akwakoye no enti fam mu bi afiri akire ho nyina saa amantam ya mabobo a efiri ho nyina eba te se enkran epue mantam mu ne ase ha se ni nyina no wo de befa santima mu na ade aba te wiase fam mu ni nyina emu be o hanche mu aduonu mienu 22% efa ho eno ne yaka ne nti ase wo mu ni se yeyi ewiase nyina oil ana fam mu ni nyina ankore wo ha bia de si nchen a emu ankore aduonu mienu efa Ashanti region yes Strait of Hormuz no na eba na Iran for a block here na America for no chen tokwa na se no say Iran for no mu wo drones a enye papa fake drones no mu wo bi wo ho ejo mo test America for ahwe no omo di ka to drone na enye papa no na America for di mfidie di akira kote no atofom no ma bo se ya ti Iran for drones ya ti omo drones na Iran for no hwe omo enti omo she da suma that fake drones no fake drones no e ma ne koya America for ti no mani age afei Iran for no hu se America for na to makode no a e ma omo kwan ho no dodo no a no e no omo start ye no omo drones ni bi ho ase eto na se eba ya beduru ba bi omo asoma no America for na waje se omo behu atresi pe na eno a chiche ne humu na achiche ne humu wo eje sei no de masoma ne se onkonko chi saa de no mra no ohu de oni nachi tu behu ana awuram na ba ya America bone na Israel for de said de Iran for se kum wo mo no enya asem ketwa na America nso Iran ntokwa na wo mo ko no ase ho no Gulf ho no wo mo wo no amaman a etwa Iran ho ahia Kuwait Bahrain ene wo mo aman na etwa ho nyina ahia no America for wo asesen wo ho military base and wadwe ye wo se ote America ene wo ne wo ko so ho ote America no ne wo ko nanso nua na wo ne wo bohye no ote ne mamu ene wo soma akode afi nua ne mamu e de aba ti Iran fo hu sa de we no ma o mani ko wo mo aman na etwa mo ho ahia nyina se ene ma yen hwehwe baabi America wo sese e wo sa aman no so to mo de o mo drones no ene hwehwe sa ne mo nyina ene o mo hu ye no mo blast ni nyina bombo no eno ne ma America kokko stre UK fo se wo mo wo base bi e wo katase ho tinka o mo kwan na nka o mo America fo nko gina ho na o mo nsoma akode nko Iran ena kestama amfa ma Trump bu afu ne ho den owie na kokko stre Spain fo se nka o mo mfa mo de no ma no ena o mo so o mo mfa ma no ena no so ni bu afu o ka se wo de adwadie mu so 5%. And you may be a free Spain by America, maybe was added 5%. I can hold their 2 Spain for so I'm saying, hey, and one more press. I said, Donald Trump who say, oh, yeah, baby, you know, I was here, Fanto, Quanum Concof, and could see Iran for no. And why not say, or Bono no, yeah, baby, I didn't know smart ground troops. I saw your form, non form. Every American home, my besina ko Iran. Na omo de by force akwa akogina Strait of Hormuz wo say omo kwa ko bia tum so obi amfa na ship mfa ho ena Iran for no so aka kire America say so omo ye mema omo ntry so omo de omo so omo ye mema pa sa America so ye bema wo wiase okasa obi nka bia omo ntry no nko obe hia soldier for no odo mbefa fo mbeba ni obe hia omo nyina ase na busa for Iran for akode no akode e hia from e hia asase ase o Iran no enye bi ni de gu asase no so no enye bi ni gu asase no so no enti eno anwumra mu tie voice no aye boma am no a ai Donald Trump o kasa no say omo new leader no kra no na no oba no wate ono Trump no kra te say yesi akode aka no ama say ne na ba akọ atwo say de so no de on hye nim papa ni nyina oboa say de Donald Trump o ye ne say ntokwa hye ase no ena da ubonwuma no a wono mo tan Trump omo ta Trump ne the Republican fo na chi no omo yusu sa da ubonwuma no enti enye bibia keke ne ma omo kwan ma omo ka enti utietie sa da ubonwuma ne beti se CNN nom ne CNN kra se de na nka on hye da ntai Republican fo na chi na nso eja ntokwa ba ye obi hunu de asie omo utietie omo nyina ma ne ba omo hye da chia no a se de Trump edi nkunim ne ade ba se ohwe Al Jazeera na ukọ Iran for no omo social media handles ni ade a na obehunu ne ekoso pa Israel say omo nipa ewu nyina no ye ma omo kwan ma omo mfa ntodwa na de ba ko so omo nhwe ne yie pa ne say onu mmoja Benjamin Netanyahu sa papa no on de free send nkola brem nya sa papa no wo so da ye bia wo hu moja se egua nkurum no akonu mbina ne ho ato no Benjamin Netanyahu mote ne nkan na say nie Netanyahu mote ne nkan na say nie e amanfo kra keke kan say Iran fo akode kra kan no a hyeda beka say o ni nua e na akode na kan no but Netanyahu na nkasa de say wa elem obi antene nka ebi kra susu say Iran fo akode kan no ama wa nyame de anso ende ye ntimi nka say sesi a etie say e no kresa but Iran fo omo ne Hezbollah fo no kan bo mu ade omo de aye Israel no enye ade papa eno wo abufuo kwa ne ma na no Israel fo kokoto e bombo ebi koka Ghana fo kra yi na ene due ya me no ka say ya okwa America mamu a ye wokuo ba ko ye fe no National Counter Terrorism Center et said ye Ghana ha say ne ye say Boko Haram fo ene ISIS fo ni nanam Sahel ha say ntino yam pekuo bi nsi wa se ko ba se omo fun mu baga na say ya omo na behwe na omo abo oman ni nyina ho ban sa counter terrorism fo no ebia pani pa woda no Donald Trump ya abaye eno oba be yi sa papa yi se wona no ye fe Joe Kent na ena Joe Kent e de krata piedwa o se patcho mpesa me bono brofo kakra bi na fe mi wi a ma chirim o se after much reflection I have decided to resign from my position as Director of National Counter-Terrorism Center effective today. I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. I support the values of the foreign policies that you campaigned on in 2016, 2020, 2024, which you enacted in your first term. Until June of 2025, you understood that the wars in the Middle East were a trap that robbed America of precious lives of our patriots and depleted our wealth and prosperity as a nation. In your first administration, you understood better than any modern president how to decisively apply military power without getting us drawn into never-ending wars. You demonstrated this by killing Qasem Soleimani and by defeating ISIS. Early in the administration, high-ranking Israeli official and influential number of American media deployed a misinformation campaign and wholly undermined your American First platform and sowed pro-war sentiment to engage a war with Iran. This echo chamber was used to deceive you into believing that Iran posed an imminent threat to the United States and that should you strike now, there was a clear path to a swift victory. This was a lie and is the same tactic that Israel used to draw us into this disastrous Iraq war that cost our nation the lives of thousands of our best men and women. We cannot make this mistake again. As a veteran who deployed to combat 11 times and as a gold star husband who lost my beloved wife Shannon in a war manufactured by Israel, I cannot support sending the next generation off to fight and die in a war that serves no benefit to the American people nor justifies the cost of American lives. I pray that you will reflect upon what we are doing in Iran and who we are doing it for. The time for bold action is now. You can reverse course and chart a new path for our nation, or you can allow us to slip further towards decline and chaos. You hold the cards. It was an honor to serve you in your administration and to serve our great nation. Signed, Joseph Kent, Director, National Counter-Terrorism Center. Nasam ni nyina ne say, watrasia ebun kompo ahwehwe na adwene mu a na ne all can say, wo adwempam ni akomapam no, ontimi ntoa so enye adwuma emma ubiom se omampanin. Esan say, se wotrase na wodwene sa ntokwa yi a ye de call Iran hu a utimu se ababia enim nti ase ba ko sei eni sa ntokon esan say Iran fo wo ho no onye na adwene se oba be ha obi animu ya ena Iran so wanto twede kan eye yen America fo ene ekokoto twede kan me ebra na wo bonto 2016 2020 ene 2024 ni nyina no metawachi ewo niam a wo kan se wo beye ewo amanone foreign policy ni nyina metawachi na metawachi akopem June 2025 ye twa mu ya obra wo si wadwen pise sa ntokwa no a ewo Middle East no ye kokoko a ebebo America ho ban na ye de nafua kituwa bi ena bekọ akoko de wa hunu ni se wodo ho to nsanjurofuo bi ni da ubofuo bi a wo daada wo e ma wadwen ye wo se asa de Iran eba besei ewiase na ne kyenanko a nanso di nyina mu no na ye ohye bi a Israel fo de ato America fo so ena ma omo ye yeduem sa na adi mrika ko Iran a wo kokoto twede kan a sabio nyansa ba ku se mpokura enimu sa ena Israel fo kro ya de wo ema ukoko sa akon ewo America kokoko sa akon ewo Iraq a eno so amfa bibi papa bia ama wa ban we atisu sesi e wo ba foforo no mu no ya wo ye wadwen sa afedie wasisan osuban na wo kọ ena wo nin ntwofo ya wo de okon na wi wo de eya adwene de wasum be ya wo denko ano mo kama wutie kekan ya ma ye se de ase obi ba beto ahye America so na ne kine ya na ye wo sa na de kokoso akon ewo Iran na wo di ko ye ya emfaso ba ku sei e ma so ma America fo ka America de hye a wahwe ame akum wo mo na no ye ko Iran Iraq eno so sa ya de hye na nko mo bebo America man ho ban da achen e de kokokum wo mo kwa emfaso bi ama so me yesre ni ame wa humjim makoko empredu baako emfaso empredu baako nyina de bra me a ne se me ko baako ba na me yere Shannon yakunu ya sa ntokwa no so Israel fo ene ye ma ye ko sa akon no a na ntokwa bi entiase bi animu nene mesi madwen pise Trump we me nya adwuma ma obium me ntime no nya adwuma bium esanse emfaso bia ni so se ye bese sa ya de hye e de akwa kogu America Iran se yenkoku wo mo kwa na yensa metena fie wa abra ntokwa no aye kono eni nyina so bia ne senti me Joseph Kent me director National Counter-Terrorism Center me de mensa sekrata ya se brew se me ne wonya adwuma bium esanse entokwa amfaso ni so se de me nku bi bium ewo me wiase entabusiafo mo kaya no aso me ka kire mo se Trump friend NATO for say komom na meboa e na NATO for no say bema wa na okoka ontokwa ko okwa na obra no abafi enti ko ade enu okoka sama hokoka che ne say omanka British Prime Minister no omanka UK for no ma no sa wiemhyen no adidi akunu bi oman mienu na nka ensesa America for wiemhyen na nkomfo mo nko golf wona nkom nkokọ entokwa ena sama se omma wo mo na ono so ote wono se ono onim se na esi kokon enti se ono so ne kondo so obekokon a onim kwan ofa so eko na onsoma ho se kokokon ntokwa ena wa ba be ka kye se omfa ne wiem hyen mounti se wonya ntokwa a hwe so kon ade ono so omma enti se France na America be frɛ no a wose be ma me nsoma o Germany no be frɛ no wose owura ma nsoma ntokwa wo na anu ya wo ba wo si NATO fo ye na wo ne omo kun NATO fo na America na bon NATO ho kapa ndi wo yi America free NATO afa de ho kire wo a wo si NATO fo no nsa meboa omo so so omo ma enti so Trump frɛ obi a no ayi ne ba kwa hye ne nsa enti ntokwa no wo po obi a obetumi aka kyense ofa wo de jai na bra fie ye hu so wa fere nso ntimi nka wo de jai na bra fie e na obi anso ayi na adwen se wo mu mfi no enti sei no Trump no okonkon ho wo hu so on frɛ soja fo na wo mo ewo pom wo mo mra fie anaso wo ma na Iran fo no so de wo mo se sa ntokwa we da ho na ene ma mienu pe se wo mo ku ne eku wo mo a wo mo ye moja dansefo wo mo be ku akon adi nkunim aida so wo mo be di nkunim anase ye be ku wo mo so wo mo di nkunim dia wo se ye wo mo ani nkunim na American so na be di wo mo so nkunim a awurade anim kra na wo mo ye moja dansefo enti wo mo nim se wo mo kon ene wo mo wuye na sa America ntimi anhye o mase de no mo ka cha America for say de o mu chi no ombedi gaga manuasi
ebusia kasebo no asi yamfa seda ema enyimeku a wo boy chi edom na yentie nsem bi edi akotene okasebwe enwen na baba to dwa se o mampani abedi echiem Professor Jena no poku adima kwosra asoye a wo hwe aban de obo wonsem so saso na asoye a wo hwe nuane ani kwe ho nsem so mu nchemu ye de besomo osofo ye a wo hwe nuane ni kwe ho nsem so se Feed Ghana dwumedie na ekoye papa kane soafo a wo hwe bambo mu nsem a kire se o mampani gina ensie bi osi ne kwan so ano no na afi ye kwohwe dom kuma wo my Ghana mra so bedofie na wo ka che Ghana ban se suapona wo UK University of Birmingham no se adesuafo na wo mo nsie chi ba so no e ka wo mo nti aba no nya ne ntam wo nkochia emfa mo mo ya from your hene wa kese bo ahemene
nana ya kese
ya dia seda edi kan edi ama MTN si ya ho de mamu abre bia network ba ko a wo bi enim so mo de sa scammers ne fraud lai ensida na network no so emuda wankasa bebia go bia wo frɛ nipa na ekɔ ne kwan so enti we dey for you no na say MTN for we dey for everybody everywhere you go Oson's chemist editor obaya mre pa oh my bohu pa oh editor who nin tempo am so wo nya
who network wo hu MTN ten no amankofu awia
and ha me no se me hu MTN tem a kanya ni se me de me ho ko share network ba kun ya wo mu di nsem hu a wo mu wi o mo san so send me question say ye hia wo break akra na yi nsem fu ahodo bia no o be recommend your network ni dia mo obi na me se nka me yale wan chakra na omusa na esi yewie saa anototo no also scam so mo say ni omni ni di nkomo no wo yare ampa also scam is by your the also garlic capsules aba so me se ne be ya ni pedua ne betimi enya pomodem high sense Ghana gina home ed ma fridge papa TV papa and after so sound system papa rice cooker ne de ma no enu bia ne ehia ne ye ka cho no se na ntebra na beto product e be che de ma bo no so da from pa showroom bi e ben for 03025500 0302550000 high says there was say everyday prices for everyday people yankwai na yankobo ye dan so ye Duffield roofing system wo mo ya de sem ye ma afi ba kokko mfirihia miensa na wa ye dwuma timi de atua wonya no bebia da nchense papa so na ye de ma wo a ahoden wo mu ahoso a wani je ho customer na ye adwi hu re ye de adwi ye customers wo papa na your office no East Legon ye Ben Trinity Theological Seminary no me pa cho betimi afre 0543 661716 0543 661716 afem 0243 232818 enei uko jama swam your hine spices ne yede ye aduane mo a mo hye mo bo me nkasa me na me hye mo hwe me hye mo bo hye me hye se bidi so mo a ma hye me bo nyina asem be ye aduane na mo de hine spices ne begum no empacho hafa menti hwe me srew se wo ye bibi ti se nkwan abom jollof chicken beef spaghetti fish anase bibi bia ye aduane wade a Ohinere spices na ya asorto enwotwe ene etu ye boase ya ye wo dwama so yes no artificial flavor bia ntu be hia bi se wode ye woduane shrimps ne de ekoyie kekenti ma onsanka wode ebo no so eda fom papa didi ye na entimi emwa wapomodem 0207805398 0207805398 afi 0244525908 Lawson Herbal Center at the Lawson Law Care Mr. Droni ni Dr. Lawson say Droni sanchani abontisi ade virgin doctor and your friend mane meme nyina yusubi na mane de ya na emahimfio no mchepewe ni tipa bacteria ni yeast infection ne fungal infections ya to de bia akoye vaginal swab ani e ka cho se bacteria no empempenso se na ekodunti ya na nka bi ni nsuo nwuru mebifi ahimfio we ba ne sa wenye obesima wona modma akukuduro no kura level no wo fam enti wo hie dro bi Lawson Law Care Mission of friend 0248619999 0248619999 afem 0242133577 Divine Hope Herbal Center at the Ochia Herbal Powder na edi aba Ochia ye adwuma rough mese mane meme nyina mu hia bi koko esi otompo anu mojabroso wa ye boho wo mpaso wo ba ya keka ho kakra na bra ba wonje na onya asa ba ne sa na young girls na ba no hwe wo mo de nneoma aje nneoma o wunya otwea heba powder ni bi na osisi mama nyina tutu ase infection ebo tu ase ene watenka level no wo form dodo unim ade ede wunya bia boa pa ma test wunya ena stroke ade yem kura na se ukomfichira enhye da mayi a mepato sachet ba ko na watia no enso na ase dide na watia no de egum onum na to wanso be won se fifresh ase se samua ne ade na ebesene enya na e wo pharmacy ne herbal shops ahodo nationwide 0591 565557 0591 565557 afi 0550 639037 Ochia heba powder aboduma pa ma memfa Pepsodent cavity fighter and sorry so wase wo kai wo se de bia da twi wo se anopa ne enwumrem wutwi nyina na wo che nkwada ne kama se ne etwi yesi se ne ebe yakwada ne wo sere a wo be won se cavity bia ne ne se so na hoode etimi aba wo se ho nyina kama enti che nkwada no wo mo de ne mpepi no ya na ehia yesi den twi na anopa ene enwumrem ma yen so iswe na Mickey the double triple darling ne bre na so dadada ye pa ne che won fa nche ye yadam nyina ase ama monity
Peace FM.